You might know me as Gecko Games and Goes, but right now, I'm a novelist, and I'm about to read you a story about a kid who started his life as being an ordinary boy. Let me guess, you're probably thinking, that's how every story starts, so I thought it was an ordinary boy and then it turned into a big great god. Well, fun fact, that boy is a normal boy today. Okay, this is the story of the dinosaurs among us. One day, there was a boy named Gecko. Gecko loved dinosaurs. Every day he'd read books about dinosaurs, watch dinosaur movies. For example, Jurassic Park, his favourite movie of all time. Obviously, dinosaurs weren't always his favourite thing, because young boys like him, they had different phases. But every phase included dinosaurs, so I'm going to tell you why. One day, a 5-year-old boy and his best friend, Yellow Spino. Gecko and Spino were best friends. They were in their class doing nothing. Well, they were messing around until Gecko saw something. It was a tail. It rushed by. What is that? What's that? And Gecko said, "What are you talking about?" Spino replied, "I saw a tail." "No, you didn't. Let's go see after this lesson." So that's what they did. They went after the lesson, and that's when it all started. A small dinosaur, a velociraptor to be precise. As they were admiring it, trying to find out how it got into their time, a robot came up behind them, giving them a really big fright. It said to them, "Hello, my name is Henry. The reason why you are here and this dinosaur is here is actually because this whole entire school is a park. A dinosaur park, to be exact." They were both in shock. And when I say in shock, in proper shock. A dinosaur park all for them. They couldn't wait to tell their friends. But when they tried to show them, they couldn't see. Then the robot explained, "Only the people who believe can see them. So if you ever meet believers on the way, they'll be able to see them. But everyone who doesn't have strong faith, they'll just be normal humans." So the park opened for just them, really. They started making dinosaurs. They started hatching dinosaurs every day. And no matter what the weather was, no matter how bad their day was, they would always keep trying. They weren't one of those people who give up. In fact, they were probably the most resilient you would ever meet. So, now you know that. Let's get to the interesting parts. For example, the time where they made an Indoraptor. That did not go well. Let's just say it ended up being a bit troublesome. So this is how it began. I made it, finally. It took a while, but we did it, explained Spino. "Really? Wow. Do you not think it would be a bit dangerous? Have you seen Jurassic World Fallen Kingdom?" Gecko replied. "Nah, it'll be fine." But as Spino said that, it was not fine. The Indoraptor broke out of its cage, chasing them around the school. It got onto the bridge. The bridge was supposed to be the hardest place for a dinosaur to get onto. This is when they thought it was their end. But as soon as it pounced at them, luckily, just like in the movies, there was a velociraptor there, just to help. So then, as they got away from the fight, decided, okay. So, that day, they realized it's not just dinosaurs being fun little creatures for them to put in their habitats. They have lives too. And if we're not treating them correctly, it can end up with our lives being taken away. Chapter 2. The second year. So the second year was still pretty boring. Nothing really happened. The park, they now moved up to another school, being in their second year, 6 years old. I know it sounds pretty young, but small people have big dreams. So, as Rico was probably the smarter guy with this stuff. I mean, the gecko was like the guy who found it, and Gecko was the dinosaur expert. They both knew a lot about dinosaurs. But anyway, so Spino was just doing anything that a normal 7-year-old would do, or 6-year-old, or just was watching like facts and going on the weather forecast, which I don't think 7-year-olds do, but he decided to because he was quite a weird character. And he found out there was a flood coming right to their hometown. That meant they couldn't save the dinosaurs if they wanted to get away with their lives. But this was the downfall. Because, sadly, Gecko had a really big connection with the dinosaurs. And I'm not saying that Spino didn't, but Gecko it was something that clicked with him, and he was like, no, we can't leave them. We have to save them. But then just behind it, he did not notice that him saying the dinosaurs are in trouble would start a nightmare. Chapter 3. After the downfall. After the downfall, the park was rebuilt. Sadly, Rico got bored of the dinosaurs. He'd pop around time to time, but he never came back, really. He was still in his second year. Nothing happened until his third year. The Stegosaurus were really starting to thrive. The dinosaurs were in their natural habitats now, living their life. And they were happy about it. So Spino's out of the picture, it's just Gecko. Gecko didn't really know what to do with his life either. He'd sometimes do lightsaber fights with his friends. He'd do dinosaur movies by himself. Taught his family, but it just wasn't the same. As the year went on, he started losing his faith. Again and again and again, and more and more and more. It was coming to the close of his third year, and he still didn't know what to do. But then, this is where it gets exciting. So, now you've got a new character to the story. Let's call him Python. So Python was a very nice guy. In fact, he was Gecko's neighbor. So Gecko's dad decided, how about you go play with Python for a day and see what it's like, because you don't really have any friends on the street. Which was true. So he went, and they played all day in the field right next to his house. fighting enough battles, and then, as Gecko was just lying down sunbathing, he heard, "What is that? Is that a Stegosaurus? No, a Ankylosaurus. Gecko, come see this." Gecko sprung up. Could it be another believer? And then Gecko said, "You need to not tell anyone, but you're a believer, and you can see dinosaurs just like me." That was big news for someone who, didn't even know that much about dinosaurs. So, that's when their journey started beginning. So the next day, as normal, Gecko went over to Python's house. They went to the field, and then there was a herd of Parasaurolophers all running, hundreds and hundreds of them through the field. And they were confused, why are they all running? And then Allosaurus came trying to bite at them, so they had to run in the herd. They generally thought they could die on that day. Luckily, they just got under this big tree and survived. They stayed there for the afternoon, for 3 hours. It was nice though, because they still got to watch the dinosaurs go by, which was quite entertaining. But then, this is when it got a bit weird. Summer holidays started. They never went over to each other's houses because Gecko was in Scotland.